to tell us you've been operating in the Omega Nebula. We'd like you to look into a situation on Lorik, a nearby planet in the farther system. Scan the planet for a base where we believe Eclipse merchants are holding one of our operatives. Should be able to detect the operative's transmitter, extract the operative if the operative is beyond rescue, recover any intel, and Eclipse spam collection. This is a very delicate matter. We trust your discretion. Jonathan, hey, Arya gave me this address. I think I met you at Afterlife. On Omega, you stopped me from joining up with those mercs who were trying to take out Archangel. Man, I was so pissed off at you. I got blind drunk that night, and it was a few days later before I got it together enough to check the news feed and saw that almost all the mercs had gotten killed by Archangel. I don't know who you are, or if you got out of there alive yourself, but thanks. I felt really stupid when I heard about the body count. Now I can be part of it. I'll make the most of what you did for me. John Wilson. Things are quiet again. Commander, I want to thank you for saving me from those barbarians. I thought I'd seen the worst of people's anger and fear at Dr. Souls' clinic. I had no idea how much anger his work was keeping in check. How bad it really was. If not for you, I'd be dead. Thank you. The clinic is doing well. He got rid of most of the plague, and I've been able to handle the rest without too much trouble. The Blue Suns keep offering to take over security here. I keep the medics powder down. I won't make the same mistake twice. Thanks, Daniel. Feeling the patient stars. I behave myself in the car. Yeah. Alright. Forget it.
Hadley, I heard about Ferris Fields. Any news on your brother?
He's gone. They're all gone. But we'll get them back.
Shepard and Lawson are on it. We'll get your brother back. And make sure the collectors pay for taking him.
Yes, Shepard.
I want to know more about you.
Do you have a specific inquiry?
That's all for now.
Logging you out, Shepard.
Hey, Commander, we got Garrus back. That's great, because he was totally my favorite. With that pole up his ass.
I assume everything is going well up here?
It was, until the thing started questioning my every move. It won't let anything slide.
You were deliberately falsifying maintenance reports, Mr. Moreau.
Not falsifying, tweaking. I always round up on task times. It makes us look good when we come in under.
Harmless self-promotion. EDI can ease off on that.
Very well, Shepard.
Yeah, go pout. I win.
Joker.
Right, no hard feelings. Good game.
I assume everything is going well up here?
Good for now. Fractured my thumb on the mute, but I think I made my point.
That's it for now.
See ya, Commander.
Someone should go talk to other people. I'm not quite sure radio. I do need to there we go. Alright.
Did you hear? Another colony went missing. Ferris Fields.
Ferris Fields? Didn't Hadley have a brother stationed there?
Yeah, he's taking it pretty hard.
Commander, I very much enjoyed sharing that ice brandy with you. But I hope I wasn't too unprofessional. Brandy goes straight to my head.
It's nice to see you let your hair down.
Guess I hadn't realized how much those feelings needed airing. But I didn't give you much of a chance to vent. So tell me now, what do you think?
Everyone's depending on us. We won't let them down.
They just don't make them like you anymore, Shepard. Well, promise me we'll share a bottle every year. The next one is on me. How may I help you, Commander?
I'll see you later, Doctor.
Commander.
Commander, what can I do for you?
You have a minute, Miranda?
There's a lot to do, Shepard. Maybe another time.
I'll let you work.
Of course, Commander.
Alright. We don't know.
Another colony's gone missing.
Ferris Fields, I heard. That's not far from New Canton. Did your family get back to Earth?
Not yet. My mother-in-law's given us grief. Operative Lawson assures me the transport team will physically drag them away if need be.
Beauty, isn't it? Pried that off the Krogan warlord, Kazak. Used to run the Blood Pack out of Omega about 17 years ago. Wasn't even a job. The guy just thought he'd hijack a freighter I was hitchhiking on. Big mistake. I goaded Kazak into one-on-one combat. Took out his legs, grabbed his gun, and killed every Blood Pack bastard in the room. That was the most beaten Krogan I've ever seen. Kept a helmet to remind me of that pained expression. This mission takes me back. So you knew Archangel from before? Interesting. Knew a lot of men taking jobs to kill the son of a bitch. I never saw the point. You and I wanted the same thing. A whole lot of mercs dead. Hell of a sniper, though. And he kept himself alive with all the mercs in Omega after him. That ain't easy. Me and a buddy were hard to take out this one guy, Matthias, I think. Hell, I forget. Turns out it was a trap. We got jumped by a hit squad. 2 Batarians, a Krogan, and a Hanar. Damn jellyfish nearly choked me to death. Wore a neck brace for weeks to cover that up. Haven't underestimated a Hanar since. I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard.
Are you throwing knives at the wall? You're throwing knives at the wall. Look at the cop in here. I'm too bad, buddy.
I just heard. The Collectors hit the Ferris Fields colony. Everyone's gone.
Shit! We're going to make those dirty buggers pay.
What can we do for you, Commander?
Carry on.
Will do, Commander.
I thought for sure it was these ones. I don't know. You want to see what he's doing with the batteries or something? We don't know. It's fuzzy. cool. Huh. Oh, that's cool.
Access to this room is currently restricted.
Okay. Is there can we go on this side? Okay. This footage now. You know, oh, what's that?
What's this area of the ship?
The gunnery control station. The ship's batteries are controlled from here. The Combat Information Center operators send targeting information here. The CIC decides who to shoot. Gunnery control decides how to shoot.
Hello.
Shepard, need me for something?
What can you tell me about the Normandy's armaments?
Looks like Cerberus upgraded what the ship carried before. Should have a bit more kick. I still don't like our chances against the Collector ship, though. Not unless we upgrade the guns.
Have you got any upgrade ideas for the Normandy's weapon systems?
A few, yeah. Here, take a look. Let me know when you've got the materials for me to upgrade our guns.
Have the Cerberus crewmen given you any trouble?
I think being part of the team that took down Saren got me some points. Everyone I talked to was polite anyway. Don't worry, Commander. We're all working together.
Talk to you later, Garrus.
I'll be here if you need me. Shepard, need me for something?
Talk to you later, Garrus.
I'll be here if you need me. Shepard, need me for something?
Have you got a minute?
Sure. Just checking the weapon systems. You can never be too careful. I thought I'd seen every weapon in the galaxy in our fight against Saren. Mercenary work showed me otherwise. And now Cerberus rebuilds the Normandy with a few upgrades to boot. I wish we'd joined up with them sooner.
You sure you're okay working with Cerberus?
I can't exactly doubt your judgment. Not after I got my own squad killed.
What did your merc squad do? It didn't sound like you were available for hire.
You saw Omega. It was full of thugs kicking the helpless. I formed my team to kick back. We weren't mercenaries. At least nobody was paying us. We made money by taking down slavers, pirates, or gangs that went too far.
How did those mercenary gangs take down your team?
It was my own damn fault. One of my people betrayed me. A Turian named Sidonis. He drew me away just before the mercs attacked my squad. Then he disappeared. Everyone except me is dead because of him. And because I didn't see it coming.
I'm not sure I understand. What happened exactly?
Sidonis asked for my help on a job. When I got to the meeting point, nobody was there. By the time I got back to our hideout, the mercs had killed all but 2 of my squad. And they didn't last long.
Do you know where Sidonis is now?
No. His trail vanishes after he leaves Omega, but I'll keep hunting. I lost my whole team except for Sidonis. One day I'll find him and correct that. Thanks for coming by, Shepard. I've got some things to take care of. Shepard, need me for something?
Have you got a minute?
Can it wait for a bit? I'm in the middle of some calibrations.
Talk to you later, Garrus.
I'll be here if you need me.
Okay, I think I figured out something here. I think if you do the left side, it progresses away from the conversation, and maybe as long as you're something from the right
Shepard,
side.
need me for something?
Have you got a minute?
Sure.
Maybe
Just checking the
find out more
weapon system.
information.
You can never be too careful. I thought I'd seen every weapon in the galaxy in our fight against Saren. Mercenary work showed me otherwise. And now Cerberus rebuilds the Normandy with a few upgrades to boot. I wish we'd joined up with them sooner.
We haven't joined Cerberus. They're funding our mission, that's all.
Relax, Shepard. Just a figure of speech. I can't exactly doubt your judgment. Not after I got my own squad killed.
Tell me about your squad.
There were 12 of us, including me. Former military operatives, C-Sec agents, the usual. Had a Salarian explosives expert. Pretty sure he'd spent time in the Special Tasks Group. My tech expert was a Batarian, believe it or not. Not the friendliest guy, but he could hack any system ever built.
How'd you end up fighting mercenaries here on Omega?
I trained to become a Spectre after the Normandy was destroyed, but it didn't work out. Too much politicking at the Citadel. Nobody was willing to take risks. Omega was filled with criminals nobody else could touch. And there was no red tape to slow me down. It was a perfect fit. People here needed someone to believe in. Someone to stand up to the local thugs.
That explains how you started. How'd you end up with a squad?
Not too different from how you formed your squad to fight Saren, actually. You prove that you get things done, and people join up. Mercs who wanted to atone. Security consultants tired of playing by the rules. I gave them hope. And now they're dead. Shows what I know.
What did your Merc squad do? It didn't sound like you were available for hire.
You saw Omega. It was full of thugs kicking the helpless. I formed my team to kick back. We weren't mercenaries. At least nobody was paying us. We made money by taking down slavers, pirates, or gangs that went too far.
Doesn't sound like you made any friends with the gangs.
I got 3 separate merc bands to work together to take me down. My manager at C-Sec would be impressed. It was simple. We'd hit their shipments, disrupt activities, get under their skin, make them angry. They'd come charging right into our well-prepared kill zone, crossfire and snipers, clean and surgical. They never stood a chance.
It doesn't really sound like it was a fuck at all, so I don't see why it would put that way.
How did those mercenary gangs take down your team?
It was my own damn fault. One of my people betrayed me. A Turian named Sidonis. He drew me away just before the mercs attacked my squad. Then he disappeared. Everyone except me is dead because of him. And because I didn't see it coming.
I'm not sure I understand. What happened exactly?
Sidonis asked for my help on a job. When I got to the meeting point, nobody was there. By the time I got back to our hideout, the mercs had killed all but 2 of my squad. And they didn't last long.
Are you sure it was a betrayal? Maybe they took Sidonis out first.
No. I put out feelers with some old contacts. He booked transport off Omega just before the attack. He also cleared out his private accounts before he left. He sold me out and ran.
Do you know where Sidonis is now?
No. His trail vanishes after he leaves Omega, but I'll keep hunting. I lost my whole team except for Sidonis. One day I'll find him and correct that. Thanks for coming by, Shepard. I've got some things to take care of.
Okay. just want to give you a hug. Tell you to be okay. Oh, buddy. Okay, buddy. I love you. Yeah. Hi.
That's all for now.
Logging you out, Shepard.
Alright, so we're done already. And I feel like... Oh. Excuse me. Let's check my messages.
No messages for you, Commander.
Oh, we did messages. Got some new things to fix. Tell you what, I'm gonna start with secondary. Read some for you. Because of their long lifespan, the Asari tend to have a long view, not common in other races. When they encounter a species or situation, the Asari are more comfortable with an extended period of passive observation and study rather than immediate action. They are unfazed by some of their investments or decisions may not pay off for decades or centuries. Matriarchs can seem to make incomprehensible decisions, but their insight is evident when their carefully laid plans come to fruition. In interstellar relations, this long view manifests as an unspoken policy of centrism. The Asari instinctively seek to maintain stable balances of economic, political, and military power. Traditionally, Asari spread their influence through cultural dominion and intellectual superiority. They invite new species of advanced development to enjoy the galactic community, knowing that their ideas and beliefs will inevitably influence existing cultures. How do we get on? Good one. Asari governments. Asari come late to the concept of world government. For centuries, their homeworld of Thessia was dotted with loose confederacies of great republican cities that coexist. Earthly equivalent would have been the ancient Mediterranean city-states. Since Asari cultural values consensus and accommodation, since the Asari culture values consensus and accommodation, there is little impetus to form larger principalities. Rather than hoard resources, the Asari bartered freely. Rather than attack one another over different philosophies, they sought to understand one another. Only in the information age did city-states become close. Communications over the internet evolved into electronic democracy. Asari have no politicians or elections, but free-wheeling, all-inclusive legislature that citizens can participate in at will. Policy debates take place at all hours of the day in official chat rooms and forums moderated by specially programmed virtual attendants. All aspects of policy are open to plebiscite at any time. In any given debate, the Asari tend to lean the most credence to opinions of any matriarchs present, nearly always deferring to the experience of these millennial wise women. Achieving consensus through public debate may take too long crisis in cases where conflict action is required. Asari deferred to the wisdom of the local matriarchs. Military doctrine. The Asari military resembles a collection of tribal warrior bands with no national structure. Each community organizes its own unit as the locals see fit and elects a leader to command them. Units from populous cities are large and well equipped, while those from farm villages may only be a few women with small arms. There are no uniforms, everyone wears what they like. Sorry, military is not irregular militia, though. Those who serve are full-time professionals. The average Asari huntress is in the maiden stage of her life and has devoted 20 to 30 years of studying martial arts. The Asari chose to be warriors at a young age, and their education from that point is dedicated to sharpening the mind and body for some purpose. When they retire, they possess an alarming proficiency for killing. Huntresses fight individually or in pairs, depending on the tactics preferred in their town. 101, the huntress is practically unbeatable, possessing a profound tactical insight, a hunter's eye, and dancer's grace and liquidity. Biotics are common enough that some capability is required to be a trained huntress. Like biotics talent excludes the young Asari from military services. While fluid and mobile, the Asari can't stand up in a firestorm the way a Krogan, Turian, or human could, since their units are small and typically lack heavy armor and smart weapons. They are mostly capable of learning conventional war, particularly one of a defensive nature, so Asari units typically undertake special operations missions. Like an army of ninja, they are adept at ambush, infiltration, assassination, demoralizing, and defeating their enemies through intense, focused guerrilla strikes. Whoops. There you go. A popular Turan saying puts it, the Asari are the finest warriors in the galaxy. Fortunately, there are not many of them. Legend. The panthetic mainstream religion is Sayari, which translates roughly as all is one. The faithful agree on certain core truths. The universe is a consciousness. Every life within it is an aspect of a greater whole, and death is a merging of one spiritual energy back into the greater universal consciousness. Sayari systems specifically believe in reincarnation. They believe that spiritual energy returned to the universe's consciousness upon death will eventually be used to fill new mortal vessels. Whoop, dang it. Solari became popular after the Asari left their homeworld and discovered their ability to meld with any life form. This ability is seen as proof that the whole life is fundamentally similar. Asari appreciates their role as promoting unity between the disparate shards of the universe's awareness. Before the rise of Asari pantheism, Asari religions were as diverse as their political opinions. The strongest survivor of those days is the monotheistic worshipping of the goddess Athame. Like the Asari, goddess cycles through the triple aspect of maiden, matron, and matriarch. Solarians are noted for their high-speed metabolism, which allows them to function on just 1 hour of sleep a day. Their minds and bodies work faster than most of these human races, making them seem restless and hyperactive. A drawback of this active metabolism is a short lifespan of about 40 human years. Solarians are amphibian, haplodiapod egg layers. Unfertilized eggs produce males, and fertilized eggs produce females. Once a year, Solarian females will lay a clutch of a dozen eggs. Social rules prevent all but a fraction of them from being fertilized. As a result, 90% of the species is male. Whoop, dang it. Stop it. I just want you to go down. There we go. Solarians have photographic memories and rarely forget. In fact, they also possess a form of psychological imprinting tending to defer to those they knew in their youth. The Solarian hatchling is a Solarian hatching is a solemn ritual in which the clan's Dalatras matriarch isolates herself with the eggs. The young Solarian psychologically imprint on her and tend to defer to her wishes. During the hatching of daughters, Lashless mother and father's clan are present at the imprinting. This ensures the offspring of equal loyalty to both, ensuring the desired dynastic and political unity. Okay. Solarian cultures. Various Solarian females are cloistered on their worlds out of tradition and respect. Powerful female Dalatresses are dynasts of political kingpins and kings. They determine the political course of their respective religions through shrewd negotiation. Though male Solarians rise to positions of great authority, business, academia, or the military, they rarely have any input on politics. Due to the method of reproduction, Solarians have no concept of romantic love, sexual attraction, or the biological impulse and social rituals that complicate human lives. Male-female relationships are rare due to the scarcity of females, more akin to a human friendship. Sexuality is strictly for the purpose of reproduction. Ancient social codes determine who gets fertilized eggs, which produces more daughters to continue the bloodline. Fertilization generally only occurs after months of negotiation between the parents' clans and is done for the purposes of political and dynastic alliance. The Solarian would imagine defying this code. Solarian name is quite complex. Full name includes, in order, the name of Solarian's planet, duchy, barony, bravedom, family, and finally the given name. Does that mean Morton is not giving us his full name, or not sure. Hello. Solarian government is called the Solarian Union, labyrinthine web of material bloodlines, political alliances, intervening in many ways. Solarian political network functions like a formal family harassment of Europe. Structurally, the government consists of 5 baronies, duchies, matriarchs, colonization, and clusters. These are human nicknames. The original Solarian is incomprehensible. Each of these areas is ruled by a single Dalaris, a matriarchal head of household, and represents the increasing amount of territory and prestige within the Solarian political web. Approaching 100 members, the first circle of Solarians can compromise siblings, uncles, aunts, and cousins. The next includes second cousins, etc., and escalates well over to 1,000 members. For the fifth circle of clan numbers into the millions. Solarian loyalty is greatest to their first circle and diminishes from there. Photographic memories allows them to recognize all their myriad of relatives. That's handy. Before they joined the Citadel Council, Solarian's most potent military tool was a small reconnaissance team known as the League of One. We collected their medals in the first game. Their primary training was in espionage and assassination. Never more than a dozen strong, the team was adept at infiltrating the tightest defenses, eliminating all necessary obstacles. Only a few members of the government and military were privy to the League's identities. League members wore no distinguishing garments and held no particular rank. The only evidence of their participation was a small medallion presented to each member upon induction. This secrecy was maintained until the formation of the council. In an effort to dispel rumors and appease the new Asari partners, the Solarian Union released all classified documents pertaining to the League. League of One was suddenly exposed and in danger of being hunted by every ally of the Solarians. Before any harm could be done, the team mysteriously disappeared. Most assumed this was a convenient lie to help hide their identities. A few months later, the Iberian cabinet was murdered. There was no incriminating evidence. It was clear who was responsible. Realizing the threat posed by this rogue outfit, Special Task Group dispatched a team of hunters. When they didn't return, the STG dispatched 10 of its brightest operators with broad discretionary powers. Only 2 returned. They reported no evidence of the League. No further incidents reported, and it was assumed the League was wiped out. Some recently declassified documents, however, suggest their way for the 13th member who eluded the Solarian military. Interesting. Solarian military. In principle, the Solarian military is similar to the Alliance, a small volunteer army that focuses on maneuver warfare. The difference, the Solarians is not their equipment or doctrine, but their intelligence services and rules of engagement. Solarians believe a war should be won before it begins. The conventional wisdom holds that Solarians know everything about everyone. This is not far from the truth in war. The unquestioned superiority of their intelligence services allows them to use their small military for maximum effectiveness. Well before the fighting breaks out, they're in possession of complete analysis of the enemy's positions, intentions, and timetable. In every war the Solarians have fought, they have struck first, and without warning. For the Solarians, to know enemy plans and to attack. To know an enemy plans to attack and let it happen is folly. To announce their own plans to attack is insanity. They find human raw concepts of do not fire until fire upon and declare war before prosecuting it incredibly naive. In defensive wars, they execute devastating preemptive strikes hours before the enemy attack. On the offensive, they have never telegraphed their intentions of a declaration of war before attack. Biotics are virtually unknown in Solarian military. Those with such abilities are considered too valuable to be used as cannon fodder and assigned to intelligence services. While capable of defending themselves against most threats, Solarians know they are small fish in a universe full of sharks. As a point of survival, they have cultivated strong alliance with larger powers, particularly the Terrans. The relationships between the two species was rocky at first due to the broken uplift Solaria. The Solarians take pains to keep this relationship strong enough that anyone who might threaten them risks Turian intervention. Special task force. Solarian intelligence field agents are grouped into organizations called Special Task. STG operates work in independent cells performing dangerous missions such as counterterrorism, infiltration, reconnaissance, assassination, sabotage. The STG is a proactive organization puncturing worrisome trends before they come movements. At any time, a dozen groups are operating covertly within the lawless terrorist system, sowing dissent among the various factions. Civilian analysts who also note how troublesome pinpoint individuals in terrorist systems frequently evade unexpected deaths. The STG operators are feared throughout the galaxy for their clear-eyed, remorseless practicality. They are willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their mission, even if it kills civilians or results in teams of destruction. In many ways, they are akin to the Council Spectres. Recently, a number of STG cells have been redeployed from the Solarian Union. It is assumed they are in the Terminus and Attican Traverse, investigating reports of Geth activity beyond the Perseus Veil. Darien Elmo Pavilion as a metal core, generating a weak magnetic field and allowing more solar radiation into the atmosphere. To deal with this, most forms of life on Pavilion form some form of metallic exoskeleton to protect themselves. Their reflective plate-like skin makes Turians less susceptible to long radiation exposure, but they do not possess any sort of natural armor. Thorian's thick-skin does not stop projectiles directed and directed energy bolts. The life on Babylonian is carbon-based and oxygen-breathing. It is built on dextroamino acids. This places Turians in a distinct minority of the galactic stage. The Quarians are the only other known sentient dextroprotein race. Food of humans, Asari and Solarians who evolved in the Levio amino acid-based biospheres will whiz past through a Turian system without providing any nutrition. At worst, it will trigger an allergic reaction that can be fatal if not immediately treated. Cheers. While Turians individually are individuals' personal desires, their instinct to equate self with the group and set aside personal desires for the good of all. Turians are taught to have a strong sense of personal accountability. Turian armor that other races find so remarkable. Turians are taught to own every decision they make, for good or ill. The worst sin they can make in the eyes of their people is to lie about their own actions. Turians will murder, get away with it. Will try to get away with it, but if directly questioned, most will confess their crime. Wait. Turians have a strong inclination towards public service and self-sacrifices, so they tend to be poor entrepreneurs. To compensate, they accept the electile bias as a client race for offering protection in exchange for their pistol expertise. The Turian military is the center of their society, is not just an armored force. It is an all-encompassing public works organization. The military police are also the civic police. Fire brigades serve the civilian population as well as military facilities. The Corps of Engineers builds and maintains their spaceports, schools, purification plants, and power stations. The Merchant Marine ensures that all worlds get needed resources. Oh my goodness. What? This is... Wait, what is left? This is left. A lot of this is rehashing stuff that was in the first game. I'm gonna sum this up with that the Turian have a whole thing going on there. Whoop. Alright, I'll read it. Alright. The Turian government is hierarchical. Meritocracy, while it has great potential for misuse, is tempered by the civic duty and the personal responsibility Turians learn in childhood. Turians have 27 citizenship tiers, beginning with civilians, client races, and children, and the initial period of military service is in second tier. Formal citizenship is conferred at the third tier after boot camp. For client races, citizenship is granted after the individual musters out. Higher ranked citizens are expected to lead and protect subordinates. Lower ranked citizens are expected to obey and support superiors. Promotion to another tier of citizenship is based on personal assessments of one's superiors and co-workers. Throughout their lives, Turians ascend to higher tiers and are occasionally demoted to lower ones. Sigma associated with promotion lies not on the individual, but on those who promoted him when he wasn't ready for additional responsibility. This curbs the tendencies to promote individuals into positions beyond their capacity. Settling into a role and rank is not considered stagnation. Turians, knowing the value of one's limitation, rather than being more ambitious. At the top are the Primaches, who each rule a colonization cluster. Primaches vote on matters of national import. They otherwise maintain hands-off policy, trusting the citizens on each level to do their job competently. Turians enjoy broad freedom so long as one completes his duties and does not prevent others from completing theirs. Nothing is forbidden. For example, there are no laws against recreational drug use. But if someone is unable to complete his duties due to drug use, the superior step in. Judicial proceedings are interventions. Peers express their concern and try to convince the offender to change. Rehabilitation fails. Turians have no qualms about censoring dangerous individuals. Hard life of labor for the state. CERN? Wait. CERN and try to chance the offender to change? Oh, that's weird. Okay. It's a little glitchy. Okay. Although they lack the brutality of the Krogan, the skill of the Asari, and the virtuosity of humans. Alright. The Turian military has formidable discipline. Officers and NCOs are lifers. And the years of field experience, enlisted personnel are thoroughly trained and stay calm under fire. Turians don't break. Even if their entire line collapses, they'll fall back in order, setting ambushes as they go. A popular saying holds: you will only see a Turian's back once he's dead. Boot camp begins. The 15th birthday soldiers receive a year of training before being assigned to a field unit. Officers trained for even longer, as most serve until the age of 30, at which point they become part of the reserves. Even if they suffer injuries, pretending frontline service, most do support work behind the lines. Biotics are uncommon. While admired for their exacting skills, Biotics moves are not always fully trusted by the common soldier. The Turians prefer to assign the Biotics specialist teams called Cabals. Command and control is decentralized and flexible. Individual squads can call for artillery and support. They can make extensive combat use of combat drones and light duties and practice combined arms. Infantry operates with armor supported by overhead gunships. Strategically, they are methodical, patient, and dislike risky observations. Tradition is important. Each religion has a full-time staff of historians who chronicle its battle and honors and details. The oldest have records dating back to the Iron Age. The Legion is destroyed in battle. It is reconstituted rather than replaced. Reconstituted. What does that mean? Turians recruit auxiliary units from conquered or observed minus races. Auxiliaries are generally light infantry or armored cavalry units that at screen support the main Turian formations at conclusion of their service. And the auxiliaries recruits are granted Turian citizenship. Cool. All Turians have a strict moral code. Their belief in individual responsibility means the concept of good and evil are simply the individual's choice between eco-terrorism and altruism. At any given decision, they have no concept of good deities, encourage noble behavior, or evil ones that tempt individuals to misdeeds. Turians believe that groups and areas that have spirits transcend the individual. For example, a military would be considered to have a literal spirit that embodies honor and courage. It is displayed. The city spirit reflects the accomplishments and industries of its residents. An ancient tree spirit reflects the beauty and tranquility of the area. It grows within. These spirits are neither good nor evil, nor appeal to for intercession. Turians do not believe a spirit can affect the world, but spirits inspire the moving pairs and rituals allow the individual to converse with the spirit for guidance or inspiration. For example, a Turian who finds his loyalty to us may appeal to the spirit of his unit, hoping to reconnect with the pride and honor of the group. A Turian who wishes to create a work of great art might attempt to connect with the spirit of a beautiful location. Turians enjoy absolute freedom of religion and can practice whatever appeals to them as long as it does not impede anyone's ability to perform their duties. There are many practitioners of the Asari. Solaris Polaris is used in opening dialogue with human systems. Some Turians have embraced Confucianism and Zen Buddhism. We're almost at the end of this art anyway. the time the Solarians and Newsari were forming, the Council of the Turians were born from the Battle of Civil War. The Unification Wars, later named, began with hostilities between the colonies furthest from the Turian hold. Alvarium. The colonies were run by a local chieftain, many of whom had distanced themselves from the hierarchy. Without galvanizing influence of the government, these colonies became increasingly isolated and xenophobic. Colonists began wearing emblems or facial markings to differentiate themselves from members of other colonies, and open hostilities became common. When war finally broke out, the hierarchy maintained its strict diplomacy and refused to get involved. After several years of fighting, less than a dozen factions remained. The hierarchy finally intervened. At that time, the chieftains were too weak to resist. They were forced to put an end to the fighting and renew their alliance to the hierarchy. Though peace was restored, it took several decades for the animosity between colonists to fade completely. To this day, most Turians still wear the facial marking of their home colonies. As a point of interest, the Turian term barefaced refers to one who is beguiling or not to be trusted. It is also slang for politicians. Ooh, that's all about the council. Okay. I can't read anymore. But there is some stuff in the primary one that I won't go through that.
In the early 2160, living beyond the Omega-4 mass relay in the Terminus systems, the mysterious Collectors species is glimpsed so rarely as to be taken for a myth by most in galactic society. In reality, Collectors are human-sized insectoid bivalves and can resemble massive winged beetles. They are a terrifying force in the galaxy, responsible for the murder of hundreds of thousands. Collectors generate permanent stasis fields around themselves, creating nightmarish red-shifted energy fields. In battle, they hold position whenever possible, relying on their aggressive biotics and nearly limitless power. Several types of bipedal Collectors have been identified, including minions, defenders, zealots, assassins, and artillery operators. Acting together, Collectors have imprisoned entire cities in stasis. While no definite forensic accounting exists to explain the fate of those imprisoned, leading speculation is that victims are harvested for scientific experimentation and neurobiological repurposing. Although they resemble a mammal-reptile cross, the Vorcha have no terrestrial analog. They are humanoid in form, but Vorcha have clusters of non-differentiated neoblast cells, like those of Earth's planarian worms. Damaged Vorcha cells mature into specialized structures to alleviate injury or stress. Transformations include thicker skin following injury, lung adaptation for barely breathable atmospheres, and stronger cardioskeletal muscle under high gravity. Skull capacity and brain size do not change, and Vorcha rarely make more than one somatic overhaul. Vorcha assault each other frequently, causing their young to gain strength, intelligence, and resilience. As a result, Vorcha see inflicting and receiving pain as normal communication. Few Vorcha study professions, in part because their average life expectancy is only 20 years. Because Vorcha can eat and breathe nearly anything, they can live almost anywhere. But racism prevents them from integrating into most societies that dismiss them as vermin. They have few employment options beyond Krogan mercenary bands. A political economic pact for collective colonial security, the Alliance is the central galactic institution of human society. The Alliance gained associate membership to the Citadel Council in 2165, and full membership in 2183, with Ambassador David Anderson representing humanity. Human political economic relationships vary between combative and lucrative. The Turians, who'd fought humans during the 2157 First Contact War, have become valuable trade partners, despite residual social hostility. Other relationships are even more complicated. The rapid rise of human political influence on the Council, achieving in decades what others waited or are still waiting centuries to acquire, has galvanized suspicion and resentment against humanity. That negativity is vastly outweighed by the respect and trust humanity earned by saving the Council during the 2183 attack on the Citadel, at the cost of Alliance cruisers Cairo, Cape Town, Emden, Jakarta, Madrid, Seoul, Shenyang, and Warsaw, and their 2,400 crew. Immediately following the First Contact War, an anonymous extranet manifesto warned that an alien attempt at human genocide was inevitable. The manifesto called for an army, a Cerberus, to guard against invasion through the Charon Relay. Derided as survivalist rhetoric written by an elusive man, the manifesto and its anonymous author soon fell off the media radar. But in 2165, terrorists stole antimatter from the SSV Geneva. The sole figure arrested named his sponsor Cerberus. Throughout the 2160s and 2170s, alleged Cerberus agents assassinated politicians, sabotaged starships bearing Ezo, and conducted nightmarish experiments on aliens and humans. Denounced as human supremacist, Cerberus calls itself human survivalist. Counter-terror experts speculate Cerberus may have changed leadership with its recent shift to stockpiling ships, agents, and weapons. Whether he, she, or they, the elusive man hides his finances hidden behind shell companies. Few doubt he will kill anyone attempting to expose him. The reclusive tycoon calling himself the elusive man is a human nationalist focused on advancing human interests, whatever the cost to non-humans. The Citadel Council regards him as a fanatic, posing a serious threat to galactic security. A mysterious maverick, to say the least, the elusive man heads the Cerberus network. Dubbed the Elusive Empire by investigators, Cerberus is an allegedly untraceable syndicate of private intelligence agencies, biotics laboratories, engineering and scientific research teams, and lucrative front companies. Branded a terrorist and seditionist organization by authorities, Cerberus is the only human power base other than the Terra Firma Party, strong enough to embarrass, if not threaten, the Council and its human representatives. Founded by notorious Batarian slaver Solum Dulcera, the Blue Suns began as a Skyllian Verge protection racket, providing genuine protection from slavers and pirates. Eventually captured by the Systems Alliance Navy, Dulcera beat almost 24 charges to be convicted on a single count of conspiracy. The slaver benefited from the tutelage of cellmate and brilliant con artist Bernard Legit's Ledger. Upon release 5 years later, Dulcera incorporated Blue Suns as a legal security agency. Today, the Blue Suns boast a galaxy-wide force of Batarians, Turians, humans, and Krogan. Each deployment is backed by a logistics corps, selling everything from heavy weapons to shaving cream. Despite claims that Blue Suns sells its captives as slaves, no Blue Suns employee has ever been convicted on such charges. Many Blue Suns members sport the company logo in tattoo form, removed during assignments and reapplied at mission end. Brainchild of Asari Commando Jonas Sideris, Eclipse was incorporated as a proactive security company. Influenced by Asari and Solarian military doctrine, Eclipse specializes in sabotage, assassination, and personal and organizational security. Although Citadel governments regard the corporation with suspicion, it's embraced in the Skyllian Verge and Terminus systems. Early on, Sideris sought government contracts to establish market share against the better-established Blue Suns. Her agency scored a galactic PR coup by retaking several space stations captured by the Anhur People's Liberation Army and neutralizing its leaders. A victory Eclipse's marketing department never ceases trumpeting. Based on Omega Station, Eclipse controls nearly 20% of the asteroid's real estate. Its services range from mech repair to open warfare, although assassination is reserved for meeting wider, longer-term company goals. For instance, preemptive strikes against pirates, rather than murdering spouses for insurance money. Despite numerous reports, Eclipse denies sabotaging or kidnapping business rivals. Brainchild of Asari Commando Jonas Sideris, Eclipse was incorporated as a proactive security company. Influenced by Asari and Solarian military doctrine, Eclipse specializes in sabotage, assassination, and personal and organizational security. Although Citadel governments regard the corporation with suspicion, originally a small Terminus Systems Vorcha gang, the Blood Pack was transformed into a legion by visionary Krogan battlemaster Gunnar Rang. Exiled for striking a female in anger, Rang obsessed over reclaiming his lost status. Leading the Vorcha Pack as a pirate crew, Rang cultivated recruits and infamy for a decade before incorporating his fighters as a security company across the Skyllian Verge. His notoriety ensured his initial public offering for investors made him rich beyond most Krogan's dreams. Rang returned triumphantly to his clan, rallying elders, Krogan hordes, and their firepower and biotic support toward professional violence in the Terminus systems. Banned from Citadel space, the Blood Pack bribes its way through spaceports into armed conflicts across the galaxy. Priding themselves for accepting otherwise untouchable contracts, the Blood Pack rejects bodyguarding and security in favor of cases requiring minimal oversight and maximal violence. Freedom's Progress colony was once a typical Alliance settlement, but following complete communications blackout and its apparent destruction, is now a lightning rod for anxiety and dread in the galactic human community. The communications blackout followed an upgrade of the colony's small military force, supplemented by mechs and security drones, with high-powered, tower-mounted Guardian lasers. Colonists complained about construction cost overruns, delays, noise, and damage to the local environment. They also feared the defense array could be seen as provocative to their world's neighbors. Such fears may not have been baseless. Authorities have still offered no explanation for... Freedom's Progress colony was once a typical Alliance settlement, but following complete communications blackout and its apparent destruction, is now a lightning rod for anxiety and dread in the galactic human community. The communications blackout followed an upgrade of the colony's small military force, supplemented by mechs and security drones, with high-powered, tower-mounted Guardian lasers. Colonists complained about construction cost overruns, delays, noise, and damage to the local environment. They also feared the defense array could be seen as provocative to their world's neighbors. Such fears may not have been baseless. Authorities have still offered no explanation for the communications blackout, fueling rumors of plagues, natural disasters, or a cult-inspired mass suicide. Located in strategically insignificant space, Freedom's Progress colony had once offered residents spectacular rainbows, lush marshlands, and stunning mountain ranges. Its potential as an agricultural settlement and tourism wonderland rivaled that of any Alliance colony. Originally an asteroid rich in element zero, Omega was briefly mined by the Protheans, who eventually abandoned it due to its thick, impenetrable crust. Thousands of years later, nature did what even the Protheans could not. A collision with another asteroid broke Omega in half, exposing its trove of element zero for easy mining. A rush ensued as corporations and private individuals tried to strike it rich on Omega, and thieves and outlaws followed in their wake. As space became tight, construction of processing facilities extended vertically from the asteroid, creating Omega's jellyfish-like silhouette. To prevent future collisions, the station is ringed with enormous mass effect field generators, that redirect incoming debris. Today, Omega is a major hub of narcotics, weapons, and EZO trafficking, without even a pretense of civilian government or military control. Only mercenary groups have been able to instill a limited order. The most ruthless is an Asari syndicate run by the notorious Arya T'Loak. The Systems Alliance space vehicle Normandy is a prototype starship created as a joint human and Turian venture. A frigate optimized for reconnaissance missions, the vessel uses state-of-the-art stealth technology. Most ships generate tremendous heat that is easily detectable against the absolute zero background of space. The Normandy, however, temporarily sinks this heat within its hull. Because of exterior hull refrigeration, the ship can travel undetected for hours, or drift passively for days of covert observation. That heat sinking carries the risk of cooking the crew alive if the stored heat is not eventually radiated. Also contributing to stealth is the Normandy's revolutionary Tantalus drive, a Mass Effect core double the standard size. The Tantalus generates mass concentrations that the Normandy falls into, allowing it to move without the use of heat-emitting thrusters. With elaborate secrecy, Cerberus labored for years to build a new, superior Normandy. The vehicle's many alterations produced a craft nearly double the original size, requiring an even larger Tantalus drive core to compensate. The new Normandy features greater space in living quarters, research laboratory, observation deck, and cargo bay. Its shuttle can make landings the Normandy cannot attempt. In addition to tight beam communicators, Normandy's Quantum Entanglement Communicator, QEC, provides instantaneous contact with the elusive man. The Enhanced Defense Intelligence AI coordinates many of the ship's combat functions, assisting and even supplanting human piloting. Potential upgrades are numerous. The airframe could support additional armor and an axial mass accelerator. The thrusters could support recent advances in fuel technology beyond H2O2 chemical rockets. And the hull can mount double the standard number of kinetic barrier projectors, leaving space for stronger shields, easily sustainable via the new EZO drive core. The Systems Alliance UT-47 drop shuttle landing craft holds 12 soldiers in a cramped, uncomfortable cargo bay and 2 more in the cockpit. Officially named the Kodiak, the drop shuttle is better known to Alliance Marines as the Combat Cockroach due to its appearance and durability. The vehicle's robust environmental sealant technology exposes few vulnerable parts to the elements. First tested in the sulfuric acid clouds and extreme temperatures of Venus, the Kodiak can land in hard vacuum, high pressure, and temperatures from near absolute zero to over 900 degrees Celsius. A true contragravitic vehicle, the Kodiak's substantial Element Zero core allows flight by entirely countering the vehicle's mass. Its small thrusters are for directional control only. So if the mass effect field fails, the vehicle becomes a proverbial 3 million credit coffin. The unarmed shuttle forgoes weaponry space for active masking, electronic countermeasures, and a robust kinetic barrier system, ideal for dropping troops undetected.
So I guess this is my new car. So we have reviewed all the new training on the primary. So we're gonna oh, that's a lot. Yeah, let's see. So sure. Beef, throw a lunch. Good on you.